Okay, now you're getting down to the nitty-gritty where you're going to start caulking these LED lights into the frames that are going to be mounted to the bus. What you're going to need to do, you can see how I've got these others here all temporarily elevated here so that the boss that's in the back where you make your connection for the wire has room to go down and sit down while you're caulking it, and it doesn't hit the table and everything, so that everything is sitting, the lights are sitting right on the frames. So courtesy of Eric Brown again, I got a whole bunch of scrap wood from him, from his business. And what you're gonna need also, which I get a lot of, is these little tiny brushes. That's gonna help you smooth out. Now, this is gonna be sort of a messy job a little bit, but you can smooth out the caulking as best you can with a brush, or whichever you choose, or with a popsicle stick. You may come up with your own tools, and if you do, I'll let others know about it after you view this video, and let somebody else know just like I'm doing. Let them know the easier way of doing things, because not my way. My way isn't always the best way. So anyway, now I'm going to put my caulking in the gun. Oh, this is the caulking that I chose to use this time. It's DAP. It's got 600% total stretch, it says, and it seals joints up to 3 inches. Well, okay, let's just see how good it is. The reason I'm not using the other stuff that I used before from Camping World is, God, it's almost $15 a darn tube, and I paid, I think, $8 for this here. So here we go. I've already got punctured. I got the end of it already cut off and everything like that, and we're going to see just how it does on the first one here. Let me get it in position. Okay, now that's almost caulked. Okay, we get the tools here out of the way so we don't have no accidents. Now you're going to take your lights, and if you can see, I've got an X right here. That's the location of where I want this end to go for my wire connections. So I'm going to set this in place, and this is where you check yourself to make sure that it's going to sit nice and flat. Remember what I told you. It's got to sit nice and flat on this edge right here, all the way around. Now you're going to have a big gap. You're going to have a big gap over here and a big gap over there. You're just going to crowd in the caulking to fill that gap up. And then when you get all done, you might have to relocate the lights may turn a little bit while you're working on it. That's okay. Just slide them back into position. And like I'm saying, and then you're going to take something like this here and put it on the outside edge of it to hold it in position, so that it's holding it nice and flat against this outside edge until the caulking all dries. Otherwise, what the light is going to do is going to have a tendency to do this here. So okay, so now I'm going to take this light here and set it in place, and make sure that it sits in there so that it's on its own. And it doesn't have to be forced. If it has to be forced to get into position, well then you don't have it routed out enough for it to be in position. And you're seeing a gap right here. Don't worry about that gap there. You're not going to use that caulking to fill it. You're going to use something else, and we'll do that after we get all done caulking. Now we're going to caulk these on the outside first, and then tomorrow I'm going to flip them all over and caulk them on the inside so that they're caulked on both surfaces. You know, this light won't go nowhere. So anyway, let's just make a little room here. Get this. I don't really like doing, but, and the first area I'm going to caulk is going to be the biggest area right here and right here, so that I can fill it up to hold it steady while I'm working on it. Let me take this light out of the way for a moment and do one at a time. And I use the white caulking. There you go. Don't worry if it fills up your holes or something like that. That don't matter. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got before we do anything. Get it nice and flat. You can either smooth it out with a popsicle stick, make it look nice, and see if you got enough. If you don't, then absolutely put more. Try not to get it all over your light fixture itself. What I mean is the glass part where the LED is. But if you do, you can clean it off after. Okay, now you just want enough on there to hold it in place. There. All right. Now, I'm not going to put the heavy weight on the end of it yet. And let's see here. Now I'm going to place the other one in. My boss goes over where the X is. Fill that up with caulking right there. Okay, come over here, fill this up with caulking underneath, and where I got a little gap there, I got a little sloppy when I was cleaning it. Okay, back that off. Now I'll take my stick here. Make sure to butt your light up against this outside edge. That's really important. Otherwise, it's going to be all crooked and everything on you. Take your time. Cock it nice. And if you do get some on your fixture, don't worry about it. You can scrape it off with a sharp knife tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow, the next day. Do all your caulking first before you do any cleanup. Now when you get all done here, take a look and see if you need that, if you wanted to add any more or not. And I'm going to choose to put just a little bit more right here. Because remember, these things, the caulking is the only thing that's holding these in place. And a little bit over here in this corner here too, which I didn't do. Now that corner I might use my brush. Try not to get impatient with it. It's fun to do. If it comes out nice, you'll be satisfied. Into the corner, there's nothing there, so you gotta build up with the caulk. Okay, so now I'm gonna set something nice and heavy on the outside edge. So take each light, make sure it's where you want it to be. Set something heavy. Whoops, that ain't good. I don't get it under my light anymore. I have to. Okay, set a can or anything like that, and then I'm going to take even something like a wasp and hornet spray. Anything to set on the outside edge so that it's tipped towards the fixture. And then again, take a look. Make sure that the caulking is where you want it. If you need to add more, then please do. Remember, you're going to have a lens over this here. Nobody's going to see it. But if you take your time and do as neat a job as you can, then you're going to be more pleased with it. Anyway, I won't show you all the rest of how I'm going to do it. I'm just hoping that this information is going to be able to help you assemble them the way I did. Or if you come up with something different, by golly, let us all know. But I'm not going to change mine. Anyway, this is enough for this. Thank you. Thank you for watching.